Hello everyone, and welcome to Chapter 8. We're going to start with Lesson 8.1 on inverse variation. So there are a couple of vocabulary terms that we want to talk about. The first is direct variation. So we have direct variation in an equation if we have an equation that's written in this form. Y is equal to a times x. And please note that a can't be equal to 0 here, because then y is equal to 0 and x just kind of goes away. There is another form of this same equation if we just rearrange things a little bit, and let me show you that because it's going to be helpful to us occasionally. So if we start with our equation but solve it for a, so I'm going to get a by itself by dividing both sides by x, and that's going to give me that a is equal to y over x. Okay, so that is another form of the same equation. All I did was rearrange it a little bit, and notice in this form we can see that our quotient, the result of dividing y by x, is some constant value a. So the quotient is constant. That constant a is called the constant of variation, and y is said to vary directly. So that term, direct variation. So it's varying directly with x. Notice here that if we plugged in any number for x, a is a constant value, so our y is directly related through a. As we increase our x value, our y value also increases. If we decrease our x value, our y value also decreases. So x and y both either increase or decrease together. The opposite of that is called inverse variation. And inverse variation occurs when our equation looks a little different. Instead of a times x, we have a divided by x. So here is the other equation for inverse variation. We can also take this equation and rearrange it to solve for a. So if we have y is equal to a over x, in order to get a by itself, we would need to multiply both sides by by x, and we would get that a is equal to x times y. So notice in this case, what's constant is a product of x and y. So a multiplying of x and y gives us a constant value of a. So we'll be using both versions of these equations. Again, same thing, just a little rearranged as we go through our examples today. Our a is still the constant of variation, but this time a is varying inversely, or y is varying inversely with x. So vary inversely. All right, in this case, if we plug in bigger and bigger numbers for x, y is going to go down. And if we plug in smaller and smaller values for x, y is going to increase. So x increases as y decreases, and x decreases as y increases. All right, so that's inverse variation.